Gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, this body has never passed a law that denied states the ability to act before there is a federal standard in place. And what we are perpetrating today with this vote is a first. Instead of being preempted to act once an established EPA standard is in place, states are prevented from pursuing critical protections for their communities from dangerous chemicals the moment the EPA decides to review the chemical, not when the EPA has created a new regulation. By allowing for this so-called pause preemption, we will create an almost 3-year limbo period where a chemical under review is essentially unregulated by either state or federal laws. Meanwhile, the public is subjected to potentially dangerous chemicals. This is unheard of in our existing consumer protection legal standards and will be to the detriment of the American people. However, I do commend the efforts of the Energy and Commerce Committee to take on this Herculean task of updating the existing chemical regulatory regime and reaching a compromise package. However, I regret that this compromise comes at the expense of the rights of the states to protect the health, safety, and welfare of their citizens. We should not be preventing local governments from exerting their basic to take proactive steps that will protect our communities, our environment, and the public health. Federal regulations serve as a floor, not a ceiling, and states should be permitted to pursue laws that fill gaps in existing federal regulations. Pause preemption not only increases uncertainty and delay to the rulemaking process, it further limits communities' ability to seek redress through our courts when they find themselves the victim of dangerous and unregulated chemicals. 15 seconds.
The gentleman can have an additional minute.
The gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
I thank the gentleman. Lastly, I want to thank my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for their tremendous work on this bill and the time and energy spent by their staffs. And while asking my colleagues to support this bill, I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The gentleman from Illinois is recognized.